So now we are going to use MySQL statement in a PHP format to insert our form input to our database, and the statement is like this. Now I'll scroll so that you take a look at the statement very well. Now I assigned the statement to a variable called query. Now the statement is insert into users. Mind you, our table from here, our table is users. Okay, since we've connected to the server and to the database team, it knows the table we are talking about because there are no two tables that are the same in one database. So here, insert into users, table user ID, surname, first name, date of birth, month of birth, year of birth, email, phone, other phone, and bio. Now these here are the columns in our database, if you could remember from our previous video. Now we are inserting these values into those columns. Okay, and since we've assigned the values of our form name to a variable, we are going to use the variable so that it will be very dynamic. Anything that the user enters into the form is being replaced and is being imputed in our database. Okay, so the first one is null because it's user's ID, and if I say it's null, since it's auto increment, it will automatically be incrementing the number without you telling it to do so. So we have surname, we have first name, we have day of birth, month of birth, year of birth, we have the email, the phone number, the other phone number, and the bio. Okay, so right now we are going to execute this query. Okay, we are going to execute this query, and to do that you use what we call MySQLi query, and it carries, or it has two arguments. The first argument is the connect argument, which connects the database. Okay, that's connect, and the second one is the query. Now that is the second one. Okay, so I'll put our semicolon there. If it connects to the server, connects to the database, and it takes this query and imputes it, or insert it into our database here. Now the next thing we are going to do is to close our connection. So we'll call on MySQLi close. Okay, that closes a particular connection to the database. So we just impute one variable, which is the connection variable, okay, or argument rather. So now this is our what is going to happen if all of this, or if the form pass all these tests right here. Okay, now if it passes all these tests, it's going to do all of this, and we want to confirm that by telling it to echo thank you for registering. Your form was successfully, or your details was submitted successfully. Okay, so thank you for registering. Your details was submitted successfully. Okay, now that is to say, if all these things are true, it's going to echo thank you for registering. Your details was submitted successfully. Okay, so now that is the end of our code. Now let's go and test this. Let's see what is going to happen. So we'll go to our browser and go to our local hosts. Okay, we'll go to our local hosts, and there we'll have our form.php. That is our form. Okay, so we'll quickly do something here. Let me put a break tag between the PHP and the HTML. Let me do that right here. Another break tag here, and then I'm going to put a horizontal row right here and a break tag right there. Okay, so that it will move the form down a little. There we go. So now we are going to try to submit this form without imputing anything and see if our code actually works out. Okay, there we go. Impute all fields. Okay, now from what we have there, since the whole thing is empty, we say when it's empty, it should say please fill in all fields. Okay, now let's try to impute one or two things. Universal team. Okay, and now let's leave this empty because in our code we say something that if this is equal to this or this is equal to this, it say please enter a valid date of birth. So we are going to check and see if that is actually working. So let's say universal, for instance, let's say universal@yahoo.com. Okay, now let's enter a phone number. and let's enter a second phone number. Let's call this 07082606676, like that. Let's just write a little text here, I love PHP. Okay, now let's try to submit that and see. Now it did not submit. Why? Because we did not input a valid date of birth. He said please enter a valid date of birth. Now if we happen to enter something valid, we say universal. Let's quickly fill that team here. Okay, and we say our date of birth is 5th of March 2002, and our email is universal@yahoo.com, and we have a phone number here, another one here. Now our little text is I love PHP, and we happen to submit that. Now you see, thank you for registering, your details was successfully submitted. Now this is to confirm that what we did was successfully inserted into our database. And to confirm that, let's quickly go to phpMyAdmin to confirm if our details were inserted or not. Okay, so I'm going to browse and we'll quickly check that. Now if you look at my table here, you see user ID 1, surname universal, first name team, day of birth, month of birth, year of birth, like that. And oh my goodness, this is perfect. Okay, so take a good look at that. I will quickly insert another one. Now let's say this is Thomas Datums. And I have a day of birth of let me quickly check that. Okay, and let me give an email.com, and we have a phone, another one. Let me just duplicate this. Okay, now let's say I love Java, for instance, and I say submit. Voila, your details were successfully submitted. Now your phpMyAdmin tells you that, and we have 2 records in our database, and everything is working perfectly well. Now take a look at this. If you don't understand, go back to the previous videos and watch some of our videos on how we went about doing this form. I think we've come to the end of this course. I think it was interesting, it was nice. I actually love taking this course, and I'll see you next some other time, maybe taking some other course for the company or for the organization. I love you all, take care of yourself, and happy programming with PHP.